Aloha, everyone. Good tidings, good morning, and happy Independence Day for you folks, whether you're kingdom or not. It's always good to celebrate a holiday. I will be speaking on behalf today of the Order of Kamehameha I. I would like to read a brief description of what this order is about and what basically we're tasked to do. The Order of Kamehameha I is a knightly order, a society established in 1865 by King Kamehameha V to promote and defend the sovereignty of the Kingdom of Hawaii. After Lā Hoʻihoʻi Ea took the throne as King Kamehameha V, he established, with the authority of the Constitution of the Kingdom the Order of Kamehameha I on April 11, 1865, named to honor his grandfather, King Kamehameha I, or as we know him as Kamehameha the Great, for unifying the Kingdom of Hawaii and founding the House of Kamehameha. Upon the overthrow of the kingdom of Queen Liliuokalani, the provisional government and the Committee of Safety, mainly of conservative Western mission families, declared that the order a threat to national security and forcibly suppressed it. The Order of Kamehameha I continued to exist as an underground society, keeping vigil for the restoration of the Hawaiian monarchy and to aid the Hawaiians in need. Now today, those who identify themselves as members of the Order of Kamehameha I are obligated to seek out the reinstatement of the Kingdom of Hawaii and its duty and responsibility of the members to educate, train, prepare themselves and others as current community leaders as well as future leaders of our nation. The Order of Kamehameha has active committees for trust oversight, environmental oversight, cultural oversight, as well as legislative affairs, and the very important but controversial issue of the reinstatement of the full independent Kingdom of Hawaii. That, in a nutshell, is basically what transpired with this society back in its time. Ushering into today, we basically, you might see us sometimes, we're out, we're not that big of a group, we're not to be mistaken with another proud group, the Royal Order of Kamehameha, that's entirely distinctive, another separate entity and whatnot. But we advocate certain things that we like to call authorities, basically. Taking the notion of what is right, what is pono, but we place ourselves back and we charge ourselves with the station that the members of the Order of Kamehameha had back then. And again, that is to serve and protect the rights of the country. Country comes first. Just as we have proud Americans, we task ourselves as proud Hawaiian nationals, and so forth. So the first thing we'd like to advocate is the right. And basically people ask, what is the right? I said, well, what is the right we're advocating for to be in this room today? What has transpired that somehow has unified us all to collectively get together and saying, hey, I've got 2 cents I want to add to that. The right is of a nation. People like to use the words what we call self-determination, and we hear that word, but it's basically expressed in a manner that's self-determination of peoples. That is true. That happens, and it is expressed around the world. However, the conditions in which we are here are different. We have the right of a nation or a country that has been violated, and still today has been acknowledged to have been in existence and still be in existence, although in a questionable state. Is it alive? Is it there? But the rights have been conveyed by the very party that violated it. Acts from President Cleveland, his call from his proclamation to the Congress, citing under his watch a violation of international and constitutional law, calling for James Blunt to come down and start an investigation into the matter so that we could find out what was going on. To 100 some odd years later, to President Cleveland admitting through an act of law, confirming and confessing that this government did violate that one, a violation of international and our own constitutional law. So then we step back and say again, what is the right? Why are we here? We hear words now being thrown about the mix about unrelinquished, undeterred, but yet they all are amicably matched together with the word sovereignty. And then people will ask, well, what is the definition of sovereignty? What is that? What context are we talking about? We only always look through it through the auspice of our own eyes, the American practical view, because that's all that's in front of us. Well, what is Hawaiian sovereignty? Where did it come from? How was it achieved? It was simple. We had a country, a Kingdom of Hawaii. It had managed to get all that manifested, and through the act of one courageous woman, that sovereignty was preserved by Liliuokalani, as she was the monarch, the leader in her protest letter to the United States, falling upon the same conditions that her predecessor, Kamehameha III, did when that country at that time was also violated, but restored. But now, under her watch, she comes up and asks the reinstatement of that. And thus we usher into a new part. What is a process to reinstate a country? What are the conditions? What are the authorities that are needed in order to achieve something of this magnitude? Do we have a collective vote? Do we come together in a circle and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that? That's probably one way to look at it, but what is a highest authority of doing it? We need to go back to what transpired for that, and that's the Hawaiian Kingdom law first, but also the international conditions in which this country was formed, in which the United States was formed, in which all independent countries themselves come about. And that's, in a nutshell, is applying ourselves to the law of nations and the international law. We've seen throughout the world, countries like occupied territories of Soviet Union, they have achieved it. And more recently, countries like battle-ridden East Timor do it. We ask that you come forward and explore the authorities that are there, still there, that our monarchs used in achieving this, and we can do this together. It's just an educational bit, but we also like to thank the Office of Hawaiian Affairs for doing this. This conversation has been, for some reason in the past, been nulled, squashed, qualified, funding been pulled, however, all the allegations, but time is done. It's time to move forward. We looked at funding and collaboration can do this, because that's the auspice of being pono. That's the only sense that we make clear as to how liberty can basically be achieved. So we welcome the fact that you guys have extended the olive branch, and we look forward to collaborating with you today and then the future days. Thank you. God bless the kingdom.